Summer.
All right, everyone. Welcome to a new year 2019. But we're still under the same kind of routine that we do here at Toastmasters, which involves prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation portion of our meeting. But what we always do before we get started with our prepared speeches is we go over the roles that have been assigned to everyone. Will the timer please share their responsibility?
Who's the timer? We need a timer.
I'm the timer. So the timer times each speech, and thank you. Indicates to the speaker if they have met the minimum time for the speech, or if they've exceeded the allotted time by the green, yellow, and red lights on this very nice white box that was provided to us, and then provides a report towards the end of the meeting, letting everyone know their speech duration.
Okay. Thanks, Justin. Did we divide the odd counter and the grammarian again, or are we keeping it one person?
Yes, it can be two people. If we can get two people to do that, then that would be good. I don't know how she got in there. I thought I got her off my list. How did she get her in there too?
Well, Lawrence is getting that worked out. Let's hear from the general evaluator, which is Heather.
As general evaluator, I'll kind of keep track of the meeting and see how it flows, and at the end of the meeting, I'll invite the evaluators of the speeches to come up, and I'll also get a report from the timer and the all counter and grammarian.
Okay. Thanks, Heather. Speaking of the odd counter and grammarian, I know Gretchen's doing the odd counter. So Gretchen, why don't you tell us about the odd counter at least?
I will be the all counter, so I will count the number of filler words that each speaker uses, such as like, and so on.
Great.
Right. Is anybody who wants to be a grammarian? Anybody good at grammar? I'm not good at grammar. If nobody else does it, I will, but I guess it's me.
Would you like to share with us what the grammarian's responsibilities
The
are?
grammarian's responsibility is to do the word of the day, which is guffaw. A guffaw. Okay, and a guffaw is a loud, unrestrained burst of laughter.
Oh yeah, there. Yeah. Okay.
It's first recorded to be used in
make sure it right.
1710. So, the perfect amount of raunchy shock value to color a guffaw with a gasp. Or even those who support union with Russia guffaw when asked whether the referendum will be above board. Guffaw. Related words could be laugh, roar, shout, snort, shriek, howl, or anything like that.
Okay.
So guffaw.
Okay. What about
Loud,
cringe?
unrestrained burst of laughter.
What about cringe? Is that?
No, that's not part of guffaw.
Okay.
Guffaw
okay.
is the humorous side.
Okay,
not
humorous.
the,
Okay.
cringeworthy side.
Okay.
And you heard it here first, but Toastmasters hopes that everyone's holiday break was full of guffaws and raucous fun and laughter and joy.
Good.
Now we're going to transition into the prepared speeches portion of our meeting. And our first speaker tonight will be Charles, whose prepared speech is titled Coach for New Members. Please, sorry,
Table topics, Master.
thank you. Sorry about that. Please share with us the table topics.
As table topics master, I will come up there and pick some random questions for anyone to volunteer to come up and give a brief explanation regarding the answer to that question.
Thanks, John. Okay. Okay, now please welcome to the stage Charles, whose speech is Coach for New Members.
I almost want to start with a guffaw on the direction we started out as coaches for the club, because obviously we wanted to increase membership, and your club is one of the best, most outstanding clubs in our local area. Of all three clubs combined, with your active member attendance and participation. We started out, I say we, Tom and I, together are your club coaches. And we met initially to help y'all, give you incentive and vibe, momentum to move forward and invite people to the fun you're having, the education, the incentive to want to join and participate. And we were growing with your active participation. You put signs out, you spread the word, community, good cheer. How many of you have joined in the last few weeks? Your membership has been growing profusely. And then we hit the brick wall. Along with planning to increase membership, and I shared this with Lawrence earlier, he said that's kind of always the issue difficulty. Membership retention. Because when you add new members, you have to retain them too to keep growing. Or if people decide to stop or quit or leave or change location for some reason, you'll need to increase membership that much more. And while membership was increasing, we still needed to increase membership enough to gain the new members in volume, because all of a sudden, a few weeks or months ago, there were what? 4 or 5 that left? Not for dissatisfaction, simply external circumstances, change of jobs, change of location. So while you've had a variety of new members and active participation, we have been a little bit guffawed or lackluster in increasing to a maximum number of getting close to 20 people. Again, you have an active membership beyond most of the other clubs locally. The other clubs in the past might have had 12 to 15. Currently, they might be 5 to 10, and you've met that or exceeded that regularly. So again, while as a membership coach, it's been a story in itself, keeping you engaged, enthralled, and as an observer, learning from the way you participate in your camaraderie, your laughter, and your enthusiasm with each other. The way you project the goals of the clubs and the way you encourage and evaluate each other to grow and learn each week, particularly as you participate in the roles. Even as grammarian, if grammar is a weakness of yours, which he said earlier. You can learn to participate and grow and educate yourself. Which leads me to the next example. As I learned recently, Toastmasters with the Pathways has recently released the wow factor. You may or may not have heard of the wow factor. The wow is to examine yourself and your own club. That's the direction Toastmasters, maybe part with the Tie with Pathways, has taken. So that you can look how you yourself are distinguished as an individual and as a club. What are your goals? What are your tactics? What are your strategies? And how well are you meeting them? You know, I'm here because I want to increase the strength of my voice, like a singer said recently, or to increase my speech topics or my speech presentations or my participation in the club ranks and roles. And how well am I meeting those? So evaluate yourself, evaluate your club, and I've liked the way I've done that so far. I hope I've been able to share something about what Toastmasters has meant to me as a member and as fulfilling the roles and duties. And you as a club and individual members are doing outstanding. Like from your history, there was one time you might have dropped down to less than 5, about 3 members, and unexpectedly Toastmasters kind of took away your website. Well, all you do is, through your leadership, call Toastmasters to say, hey, we're still participating, we're still growing, activate the website, and you got more members immediately to attend, so they accepted your growth participation. You're doing that now. It's simply due to external circumstances. You might have lost a few, though none of that was because of disinterest. So my congratulations to you. I've enjoyed participating as your club coach. I too have learned from you and all you do, your tactics and strategies, and thank you for allowing me to participate. And I want to help you in any way I can. And like your growth and strategies, you evaluate yourselves with a wow factor from here on out. Thank you. Go back to Toastmaster. Diego. Thank you.
Thanks, Charles. Thanks for sharing that important speech discussion on what it means to be a successful Toastmasters Club. And now we're going to transition into the next prepared speech topic that's being spearheaded by Maurice, and his title is Moments of Truth.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, before I get into the presentation, last year there was something, for some reason, I overlooked it, but this club had an opportunity, not only this club, but clubs in this area had an opportunity to receive a $25 gift certificate for not only turning in their club success plan, but presenting their moments of truth before, I think, December 15th. Or whatever date, and I overlooked that. And the district director said that they almost ran out of money anyway because there was 25 clubs in the district that achieved both. But I will make it a point next year to have moments of truth presented during the first half of the Toastmasters year. Moments of truth. Sometime last year, I think early December or late November, probably in December, I just did an overview of Moments of Truth where each club evaluates itself in 6 standards. And those 6 standards are first impressions, membership orientation, fellowship, variety and communication, program planning and meeting organization, membership strength, which Charles presented during his speech, that our membership needs to continually get stronger, even though due to outside circumstances, people leave. And the 6th one is achievement recognition. So Moments of Truth is a tool that enables sustained club quality through guided evaluation and targeted recommendations. And again, after this presentation, through several meetings, we'll go over each standard. And we have plenty of time before this Toastmasters year is over to go over the 6 standards. Each moment of truth represents an opportunity for the club to create a positive impression. A high-quality club encourages and celebrates member achievement. It provides a supportive and fun environment. And in doing so, we need to keep impressing the visitors of these facts. Offers a professionally organized meeting with variety. Club officers are trained in all aspects of club quality. Members have access to a formal mentoring program. Members are provided evaluations that help them grow. Members are motivated to achieve their goals. So we want to achieve our goals individually and as a club. Individually through our speech books on the old program, Competent Communicator, for example, or through pathways through the different levels. And as a club, that will add to our distinguished club program. Of course, we have to achieve our membership goal in order for the other goals to count. And that will help the coaches achieve them completing coaching, because from what I understand, if we don't get the minimum membership that we need, which is 19, we don't get the distinguished club, and then the coaches don't get credited. Is that correct?
Not quite.
Okay.
You do have it for smaller clubs. If you had 19 to begin with, you have to maintain that. But if you have an increase in membership,
A 5.
I think of 5.
Yeah, that's all right.
That covers it for smaller clubs,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, that's correct.
But if we don't achieve that goal,
Right.
I mean, for our club, because 14 was our base and 19 is what we have to achieve as
Oh,
our
I
club.
see what you're saying, yeah.
Then the
Right.
coaches won't get credited if we don't get that. Okay. When anyone comes in contact with any aspect of Toastmasters, the person forms an impression based on her experience at a particular time. These decisive times when initial impressions are formed are known as moments of truth. And again, I'll go over the 6 standards of moments of truth. First impressions, membership orientation, fellowship variety and communication, program planning and meeting organization, membership strength, and achievement recognition. First impressions, guests greeted warmly and introduced to officers and members. Guest book, which we have, and name tags provided. Well, we could do name tags. Professionally arranged meeting room. This is professionally arranged enough, don't you think? Convenient meeting location. This is convenient enough, don't you think? Guest invited to address the club.
We haven't done that before, but that'd be a good idea too.
Yes.
Well, we do, we
Well-
ask them if they, sometimes we ask them at the end if they would like to say something.
And guests invited to join. And special thanks to everyone who has brought guests or invited guests, and especially Diego, because Diego has brought in a lot of guests since he's been in this club. Membership orientation, formal induction, membership pins, which we have in the storage bin. Assignment of mentor, we're good at assigning mentors to new members. Education programs and recognition system discussed. Of course, we're transitioning from the old system to the pathway system. There's a few who are trying to achieve as much as they can through the old system, but each new member since the middle of last year will be in the Pathways program. So that's the education program for any new member who joins the Toastmasters Club. Learning needs assessed, okay, through evaluations, speaking roles assigned, member involved in all aspects of club activities, and people participate in different roles. Fellowship variety communication, guests greeted warmly, again, and made welcome, enjoyable educational meetings planned, regularly scheduled social events, members participate in area, district, or international events, inter-club events encouraged, club newsletter website published and updated regularly. Well, maybe one day we could get into doing a newsletter. Program planning and meeting organization, program and agenda publicized in advance. And so I don't know how many minutes, I don't know what the time limit was. I'll just assume 10 to 12.
Yeah, okay.
Members know program responsibilities and are prepared to carry out assignments. All projects are manual projects. Meetings begin and end on time. Creative table topics and activities, positive and helpful evaluations. So we're doing real good in table topics, evaluations, meetings beginning and ending on time, and each club member are doing the best they can to do a speech project. I think each and every one of us have done at least a icebreaker who are here tonight. Next is membership strength, which Charles has gone over, and he's encouraging us to stay strong and to achieve our club goal of 19. Our base is 14. Membership retained. Retaining membership is what we need to work on. That's what I was trying to say. Promotion in club, organization, or community. And something I forgot to mention during the club business, the area Facebook page has been launched. And hopefully that'll be another tool to get members or visitors to all 3 clubs in the area. Club programs are varied and exciting, which is true in my sight. Toastmasters sponsoring new members are recognized. Regular membership building programs. We may need to look a little bit more at that. We did have a speechcraft last year. We had 2 people, well, at least 2 to show up. I think Charles said there were some more that week that me and Lawrence weren't there. But I didn't hear any results of it, from it. Except Charles said that they might be coming back, and I don't know if they came back or not. And the last standard is achievement recognition. We award applications immediately submitted to ward headquarters. So we have the president and the vice president of education in charge of doing that. Progress charts displayed and maintained. We do have well, if that's the Distinguished Club Program chart, then we have that. Members' achievements formally recognized with ceremony. We've done that, taking pictures of achievements, holding certificates. Club, district, and international leaders recognized. Whenever that's called for, we do that. Club and member achievements publicized. Well, I don't know.
We put it on Facebook, so yes.
Yeah, oh, okay, Facebook, yes. Okay. And LinkedIn. We got a LinkedIn page too. Distinguished Club Program, or DCP, is used for planning and recognition. How well does the club perform on each standard? Okay, again, the 6 standards: first impressions, membership orientation, fellowship variety, communication, program planning and meeting organization, membership strength, and achievement recognition. And we'll do evaluations over the next so many meetings. It doesn't have to be every week, but just all 6 should be done before the year is out. And that is the end of the Moments of Truth presentation. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thanks, Maurice, for another great performative speech. It's really great that we have a focus today on how to become a better club. And also what I really liked about your speech was how you emphasized that a really good club happens when our membership is really thriving and really motivated to complete their assignments and their manuals and things like that. Now we're going to transition out of the prepared speech topic section and into the more impromptu speech exercises. And that's going to be spearheaded by our table topics master, John Wood.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Laughter. What is laughter?
Guffaw.
Laughter is actually the physiological response to humor consisting of 2 parts: a set of gestures and a production of a sound. When we laugh, the brain pressures us into conducting both of those activities simultaneously. What makes you laugh?
So in my lifetime, I have been given the nickname of Chuckles. So, I've opened up a little more as I've matured, but I'm a fairly quiet person, and I guess in the past I've kind of just sat back and just laughed as people talked, and it kind of got me, the nickname. But currently, things that make me laugh, I'm a sucker for stupid comedy shows. So some of the ones I've watched recently, Workaholics and Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and some shows like that. And I just like being around people with a good sense of humor and enjoy having a good time and laughing. It's probably, my brother came down from California over the break, and it was good spending time with him, telling some stupid jokes and some inside humor that we've had over the past. It's always a good time being able to laugh with people. So that's what makes me laugh. LA.
How can laughter be used to your advantage?
Laughter actually is a very important part of life. It's one of the things that actually glues people together is laughter, because we all like to enjoy things. And the physiological experience that we have when we laugh creates a euphoric feeling. And so anytime that you can create laughter, you can create a more enjoyable experience. So we here at Toastmasters are learning how to speak and how to present things so that people will be able to learn from us, and we'll be able to learn from them also. But laughter is an important part of that. If you can get people to laugh when you are presenting to them, then that gives them the euphoric feeling. It makes them more excited about what you are speaking about. So laughter can be used even in the most dry and uninspiring technical presentation can be enhanced with laughter. So we don't have to guffaw every time that we have a presentation, but we should be able to bring laughter to all of our friends and associates, even when we're giving a presentation. Mr. Topic Master.
Who, in your opinion, is the greatest comedian?
John asked a very good question that is really hard. It's very different for everyone, but I would say for me, I think the humor that Louis C.K. delivers is a really good sign of a really good comedian, and I think that's a big reason why I think he's probably one of the greatest comedians that I know of. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he does dark humor really well. I remember one SNL monologue he talked about what it's like. Well, no, I'm not going to get into that, but he pulls some really dark topics. I'm not gonna bring it up today because I don't want to make it misconstrued. But if you Google, Louis C.K. monologues, a lot of the material that he delivers comes from really dark places and humor that people wouldn't really think of. And the way that he's able to turn these types of fantastic sign of a good comedian, of someone who can take really, really dark things that we don't normally think are okay to laugh at, and he can make it something more. It makes it less taboo to laugh about. And I think that's why I think Louis C.K. is probably one of the greatest comedians in my view, personally. Mr. Tabletop Toastmaster.
When is a laugh track appropriate? Y'all know what a laugh track is, right? No? Yeah, you see those old sitcoms that have the canned laughter in the background?
Oh.
Really no laughter.
Modern sitcoms too.
Modern sitcoms, yeah. When would that be appropriate? Like right now would be.
I'll take a stab at it. So when is canned laughter appropriate? Probably when the writers aren't doing their job. If the subject matter falls flat and you want people on the other side of the television screen to laugh, laughter is contagious. So I'm sure that's why they do that, because the studio audience might not hear what's going on during the filming of the sitcom, so they do that. As I said, laughter is contagious, so I think people like us who sit on the other side of the screen, television screen, probably laugh when we hear the laughter, when it's not necessarily even appropriate because the material is not very funny. So that's my take on it.
Laughter is contagious. I know when I was a kid, we had this little box that had a battery in it that would just laugh. You push the button, it would just laugh over and over and over again. You just set it aside, it just continuously laughs. Before long, everybody else is laughing. So with that being said, I have one more question. Would anyone like to step up here and tell a joke? Chuckle? All right.
I've got one.
Okay.
The Dalai Lama walks into a sandwich shop, and he looks at the sandwich artist at Subway and he says, "I want you to make me one with everything." That's the reaction to my
That's good.
I'll turn it back to the tabletop class.
Okay. Hey, I'll do a couple quick ones.
Okay, sure, come on.
Well, the first one's really quick. The second one may not, well, it's going to be relatively quick, but not as quick as the first one. And this is something I picked up years ago from different people. You know, if you like shopping at whatever store you prefer to go to, once you've seen a bunch of stores put together in one place, you've seen them all. Now this one wasn't a joke, but it became a joke. If you're real anal on grammar and pronunciation of words, you will get this one. My former supervisor was a float captain for Mardi Gras. And after Mardi Gras season, because he takes a week off from Mardi Gras, he came in and during our morning meeting, he was sick, I guess, after one parade night. I guess it was raining and all that. And he was telling us a story about one of the people in his float texting him. And he texted him something, and he texted back, said, "Call me." A few minutes later, the guy texted him again, and then he texted back, "Call me." And then it happened like third time or fourth time. Finally, the guy called him. He said, "Why didn't you text me? I told you to call me." And then he said to us, "I hate Texas." So that's, if you understand. Oh, sorry, Mr. Topmaster.
That's okay. That wraps it up. Thank you all for your time. I will now relinquish the lectern back to the Toastmaster.
Thanks, John. I think we did get a lot of good sincere guffaws today, which is great. Now we're done with the impromptu brain exercise portion of our meeting, and we're going to move into the evaluation portion of our meeting. And that will be spearheaded by our general evaluator, Heather. Please come forward.
Okay, fellow Toastmasters, the meeting went pretty well. I think we had a lot of guffaws and everything, so everything was good. And I guess at this time, I will invite the first evaluator to give their evaluation. I'm not sure, Cody, right?
So I had the pleasure to evaluate Charles' speech, but he had to leave early because he had to pick his daughter up. So I'll just do a few things I liked about it, and one thing that I thought maybe could have made the speech a little bit more clear. So, as usual, Charles has good vocal variety, and he really surprised me when he started hysterically laughing when he got up here, so that got my attention right away. And I liked how he opened up by complimenting the club, so he brought us into the speech right away, so that kind of got my attention. So he started to talk about us. When you talk about somebody, then they tend to listen a little more. One thing that I thought could have been better with the speech was kind of giving a short outline of what the speech was going to be. I had the evaluator book, so that helped me a little bit, but he kind of jumped right in and he didn't really have the purpose of why he was giving the speech and what he wanted to achieve by it. I think that might have helped everyone to kind of understand the purpose of what he was trying to get across. And I'll use this time also to just bring up the points he made. So the high member sign up, I think we do a great job on that, and I don't know what we can do to really improve that much more. Having the applications here that we can just hand them, I think is really helpful. Having the prices down helps as well. Getting the retention up, I thought maybe I could use this time to ask anybody if they had any ideas on retention.
I think all in all, we've had pretty good retention. Of course, you always have people that are moving and are unable to continue attending because of that. But from what I've seen in the past 6 or 8 months, we probably have not had a whole lot of people that just quit because there was they weren't happy or they didn't feel that it was fulfilling whatever they want to do.
Right.
The most important thing is, what are people getting out of Toastmasters? Are they getting what they came here for? So one level of retention, which I'm trying to focus on with my mentees, is finding out what is the purpose of their being here. Because once they, and even we ourselves may not realize immediately what our purpose is here, but if we think about it, then we can create that idea, and then that will help us to retain them, because we know what they want, we can help them to achieve it.
Right. That's a good idea.
Also making some phone calls, or, well, maybe not even phone calls, but an email directed.
Yeah, we
personal
talked about
email.
that. It's probably.
I was trying to think of, is it, not Cheryl? I can't think of her name, I was looking at it.
It's not Cheyenne.
No.
You're talking about a guest?
African-American girl, I thought, a woman.
Sandra.
Sandra.
Sandra. I haven't seen her in a while.
Right.
Yeah. I'll reach out to her again.
And I mean, downstairs in the coffee shop, is there an advertisement for this
Just
all
their
the
banner.
time?
No, it's not just their banner.
But that's only up like during meetings, right?
Yeah.
Forward there.
Yeah.
We could, if someone wants to do a high-performance leadership, which is a possibility in Toastmasters, in some of your paths, you have to do a high-performance leadership. One of the things you could do would be a membership campaign and possibly discuss on how to do different flyers, put them in the different coffee shops or different storefronts or whatever. Find some way to do some outreach. That might be helpful.
Maybe in buildings, office buildings.
That too. If you have, like, for instance, not to mention any names, but I know that some of the members are all in the same company, and they may have an opportunity to set up a club in their own company if they were interested in trying to do that, and where they might be able to attract more people from their immediate office because they have a lunchtime meeting on, one day, even twice a month or every other week or whatever it happens to be. It doesn't have to be a weekly meeting, but sometime, in a lot of corporate clubs do that. Once a month, twice a month.
If I could just throw something in there, just specifically retention, I think having worthwhile meetings, if people attend a good meeting and they see value in it, then they'll be more likely to be there. And I think we do a pretty good job, and I'm especially guilty of this, but making sure that we have a full
Rod, yeah.
Yeah, of speeches.
So the speech right before the break, we didn't have the speakers, so we did an extended tabletop. It turned out okay, but sometimes that can be a turnoff for somebody. Like, well, they didn't even do any speeches that time.
Sure.
The guy that attended, it seemed like he enjoyed it, and hopefully we see him this year. But
Yeah,
I agree, yeah.
unfortunately, holidays are always like that.
Yes.
Every year it's the same.
And then I think the mentoring is another big one, and having valuable mentoring would be really good in retention. And then you have that relationship with that person.
And that's going to become a bigger thing with Toastmasters because every path you have the one little piece that's on mentoring, but they have a whole program on mentoring starting in the second level. Once you get to level 2 of any of your paths, you will start into mentoring. Have an opportunity to do a whole path of mentoring.
I think I've overextended my evaluation time. So I'll now relinquish the lectern back to the general evaluator.
So our second speaker was Maurice, who talked about moments of truth, was it?
Yes.
So I'll now invite Maurice to come up and give an evaluation.
Okay, that was good discussion on membership strength, and I'll consider that our evaluation of membership strength. And then we partially talked about membership orientation, assignment of mentors, learning needs assessed. Lawrence mentioned the people that are mentors, and what are your objectives? What is your purpose of being a Toastmasters? What do you want to achieve as a Toastmaster? So during my evaluation period, I just wanted to ask what other of the 6 standards do you want to go over? And again, we went pretty deep into membership strength, and we went a little bit into membership orientation. First impressions, we can go into that. And we do pretty good on first impressions. Guests greeted warmly and introduced to the officers and members. We have guest book. We don't have name tags yet, but we have guest books. Professionally arranged meeting room. We have convenient meeting location. And we're the only club that meets during the evening, not at lunchtime like the other 2 clubs do. And guests invited to address the club, and guests invited to join. as Cody mentioned, we pass out the applications to the guests at the conclusion of the meeting. So that's the first impressions. Any suggestions on first impressions? Okay, any suggestions on any other part of the 6 standards? Fellowship, variety, and communication, achievement recognition, program planning and meeting organization. That contains program and agenda publicized in advance. Members know program responsibilities and are prepared to carry out all assignments, all projects or manual projects. Meetings begin and end on time. Creative table topics and activities, and positive and helpful evaluations. So we do pretty good on that.
I like the idea of doing a newsletter. I don't think it's going to be feasible in the next few months, but definitely that'd be a really cool tool in the future, hopefully.
All right. I guess I forgot where that was. Okay, that's under fellowship, variety, and communication. I'll just mark that. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Maurice. And now we will have our reports. I guess we'll start with the timer.
Sure.
Justin, yeah.
So the first speaker was Charles. He spoke for 5 minutes and 35 seconds on a 5 to 7 minute speech. Maurice spoke for 11 minutes and 30 seconds on a 10 to 15 minute speech. I apologize for the timing here on that. And then on the table topics, those are 1 to 2 minute durations. Cody spoke for 1 minute and 10 seconds. Lawrence spoke for 1 minute and 45 seconds. Diego for 1 minute and 20. Susan for 55 seconds. Diego for 20 seconds with his first joke, which that's a little bit of a tough one. And Maurice did his joke session for 1 minute and 55 seconds. Cody's evaluation was 6 minutes and 55 seconds long, but that was kind of a group discussion. And Maurice spoke for just under 3 minutes on his second evaluation.
Thanks, Justin. And now we could hear from Gretchen, our all-counter.
Okay, Charles, I did not, and Maurice, both, I did not notice any filler words during their speeches. Then during table topics, for Cody, I noticed 1 so. Lawrence, I didn't pick up anything.
At least a word to us.
Okay. Diego, I had a couple of double words. One was that's, another was I'm not going to, and another really, that were double words. Susan, there was a if the double word, 1 and 1 so. And Maurice, there was 1 double word or phrase of 1 of the. And then during the evaluations, I noticed 1 I guess for you, Heather. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. And then further in the evaluations, Cody used the word so a couple times, and Maurice also used the word so a couple times.
Thanks, Gretchen. And now, Lawrence, if you could give us the grammarian report.
Okay, as grammarian, the word of the day was used numerous times. Diego used it once. Charles used it twice, but the second time I don't think it was correctly used. I used it once, Heather used it once, and I think that's it. Now, as far as other grammar, Diego used numerous double words that I caught. Also, Charles, he did fairly well, and I was quite impressed because I saw many times when he was about to use an or an but he paused instead, which was good. Maurice, you used double words a couple times, and you used all that as a filler, kind of once or twice. So that doesn't work usually. Also, Cody had some double words, but he used "you know." Well, you're telling us, so we probably don't know until you've told us. So that usually doesn't work very well. And Susan, you did have one double word that I caught. I didn't write down what the specific words were. And I noticed a few things I did myself, but I didn't write them down.
All right.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Madam Evaluator.
I think that covers all of the reports. So at this time, I'll relinquish the lectern back to our Toastmaster team.
Thanks, Heather. Okay. Do I relinquish the lecture? First of all, do we have an education overview?
No, we don't have time for anything else except close up.
Okay. I'm going to turn the lectern back to our acting president, Cody.
Great meeting, everyone, and had a lot of education for the club already, so no education overview. Lawrence, you want to say something?
Yes, is there anybody who would like to put their name in the hat for any particular position next week? Speakers?
Like a club position?
Yes.
Probably, but I'm gonna think about it a little bit.
I can do education overview. Next week.
Okay.
Okay. Put me down for a speech. I'll see if I could get prepared.
Okay, anything else? Okay,
I
thank you
already
very
have
much.
table topics prepared, so
Okay.
I'll do that.
I'll do a speech, Lawrence.
Okay, good.
Right.
Okay, back to you, Mr. President.
With the roles filled partially, I will now end the meeting. Thank you, everyone.